Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. I think it's no secret that Harry Potter's upbringing was absolutely awful under his Aunt Petunia and Uncle Vernon. We've all read the cruelties he was subjected to and seen a little part of it on screen also. However, have you ever wondered just why Petunia was so horrible to her nephew? After all, this was her blood, her sister's son, her sister who had just been killed. All the while, her son was given everything and more. Surely there had to be a reason. Well, I can tell you, there was a reason. There was a really good, well, let's not call it good, but justifiable reason from Petunia's standpoint as to why Harry was abused and neglected for so much of his life. Let's continue the video to find out. Harry Potter was made sleep in a claustrophobic, tiny cupboard under the stairs for the first 11 years of his life, with barely any toys and any real memories or knowledge of who he was. The only thing he'd ever been told was that his parents were killed in a car crash.
A car crash? A car crash killed Lily and James Potter?
You have to say something.
It's an outrage. It's a scandal.
And that was basically it. Harry was made feel like he was a burden, that he wasn't loved and wasn't wanted, which must have been truly awful. It wasn't just Petunia who made him feel such a way. His uncle, Petunia's husband Vernon, also participated in making Harry's life seem obsolete. Harry's birthdays weren't celebrated, there was never any focus or attention on him. Instead, his cousin Dudley was spoiled beyond any reasonable measure, making sure he already had one more present than the year before.
36, but last year I had 37!
The boy even had a second bedroom just for the sake of having one, knowing that Harry was basically sleeping in a box with a pillow. He was made cook the breakfast and do a rake of chores, and to be honest, looking at it now, from the perspective it's viewed in, both Petunia and Vernon should have had Harry taken off them and both done jail time for the emotional abuse inflicted upon Harry. But the question remains, why were they so cruel to him? There's got to be a reason, and trust me, there is. I said it in the intro, so let's get right to it. It's down to Petunia holding a bitter grudge against her sister from their youth. Bear with me as I go on to explain. Let's go way back to Petunia and Lily's childhood. They're two sisters who loved each other and played together daily. Muggles living in the Muggle world. They had no idea that magic was actually real, only what the Muggle world portrayed it as, a fantasy, a child's dream, something make-believe that was never a real possibility. Then one day, Lily notices she can do things that she should not be able to do. Her early signs of magic are now active. Does she show her sister? It's highly likely she did. As these signs of magic get stronger, Lily discovers that magic is in fact real. She's a witch, and she's going to attend Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, one of the finest magical schools in existence. She's going to experience the delight and wonder of the magical world. She will learn to perform spells and brew potions and meet magical creatures. It's every kid's dream. For Lily, that is, not for Petunia. And I have to add, this is a harsh reality to accept, and if we look at it, Petunia Evans was an early casualty of the Harry Potter story. Can you actually imagine your sister going off to live the dream of being part of a magical world, and you wondering why you're not special, why it's not you that gets to go, why only your sister? I don't think there's a single person at the age of 11 who'd wonder why they weren't able to go to Hogwarts if their sibling was. In fact, Petunia was so hurt and devastated that she even wrote a letter to Hogwarts headmaster Albus Dumbledore asking him if she could attend Hogwarts with the condition and promise that she'd work harder than any of the students. Dumbledore actually took the time to respond to her letter, letting her down gently. After realizing she would never experience the world of magic, she then became bitter, angry, mean and resentful, all of which was directed at her sister. Many of us have felt at least one of these emotions at different points in our lives, but to be a young girl of Petunia's age and feel all of that, in addition to feeling worthless and not special, not good enough, I'm really not surprised she turned out how she did, if not worse. So she meets and marries Vernon, and together they have Dudley and begin their lives as a family. Unfortunately, Lily is killed along with her husband James by Voldemort, and baby Harry is placed with his closest relatives, Petunia and Vernon. Petunia, despite how horrible she turns out to be, takes Harry in and agrees to look after him. However, that is just about the nicest it was ever going to get for Harry at that point, because this is where Petunia's underlying bitterness and anger resurfaced. Now, once again, there was two children of a similar age living in the same household under Petunia's parentage, and there was not a chance in hell that she was ever going to allow her son to be second, to feel second, or even have a shred of doubt about his self-worth when it comes to being compared to Harry. She wouldn't have it. She wouldn't allow it, and for the next 11 years of Harry's life, he was the one who was made feel unimportant and worthless, while his cousin Dudley was spoiled and treated as if he was nothing short of a prince. Harry was going to be made feel just like his aunt did. He'll know exactly how she felt, in addition to being a spite towards Lily. Never mind the fact that she was dead, murdered. Petunia just had to make the situation more favourable to her and her family. Harry was punished for his mother being a witch. It is as simple as that, which is incredibly cruel. His aunt never truly got over her upsetting childhood. Even though she was given every opportunity to excel by her parents in her own life, it still wasn't good enough to deal with how empty she felt at not being special enough to be a witch, just like her sister. The irony is that had she been a witch too, she would have never met Vernon, nor had Dudley, and would have most likely been placed in harm's way with Lily and James in hiding. It doesn't seem like Petunia ever felt any remorse for the treatment of her nephew. She never apologised for anything. However, what she did do was harden Harry, which prepared him for the challenges he was about to face as he started his journey in the magical world. So guys, as you can see, there's definitely a reason for Petunia's behaviour towards Harry throughout the years. Whether you believe it's justifiable is your own decision, although I don't believe that any of you could think that it actually is. With that being said everyone, that is my video on why Petunia Dursley was so cruel to her nephew Harry Potter. As usual, make sure to let me know what you think in the comment section below, and if you have any sympathy for Petunia when she was younger due to her experience with Lily becoming a witch, and she remaining as a muggle. Thanks again guys, have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate your support. Everyone, notifications of uploads are more important than ever. So please, if you haven't already, turn those notifications on to make sure you're notified the moment my video goes live. Making videos is what I love to do. It's my dream and my passion. However, it does cost time and money to produce this content. So if you have $1 to spare to support me on Patreon in exchange for some exclusive unseen content, then you can click the Patreon link below or at the end of this video. Please only support me if you can afford it. And make sure to follow me on Instagram at InstaDNJ and on Twitter at PotterFolklore. Check out my other videos appearing on screen, and please make sure, most importantly, to hit that subscribe button. Thanks again everyone, and please have a great day.